And greetings, boys and girls around the world. I want to go on the record as supporting Diana West in her book, American Betrayal. She's been attacked by people associated with David Horowitz and Ronald Radosh. David Horowitz and Ronald Radosh have an entirely different background than Diana West. West is a journalist capable of doing extremely detailed, meticulous, thoughtful, time-consuming research. Horowitz has other gifts, and I'm not familiar with Ronald Radosh except from reading his Wikipedia page, which suggests to me that he has the mindset of a 1968 anti-war protester, a hippie, who would rather be thought of as an intellectual and a history professor. Radosh appears to me to have attacked Diana West in her book, American Betrayal, because it upsets his take, his paradigm of what happened relating to American history from 1930 to today. And in my opinion, he has childishly, defensively, emotionally attacked Diana West and is guilty of imagining what he thinks he read and reacting in a defensive way, as though he feels threatened. Suffice it to say, I support Diana West. I would never go so far as to say she is incapable of making a small mistake, but her overall premise, as shocking as it may be to some people, and as foreign and alien and wild and crazy as it may seem to some Americans who have absorbed the paradigm presented to them by the mainstream, I find her work credible. I'm familiar with almost all of her sources. I have researched into this myself. I'm familiar with Mitrokhin. I'm familiar with Vasili. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Vasili Mitrokhin and another guy, Vasili Vasiliev. These are defectors who brought material from the Russian archives. We received information from the Russians via defectors who copied material from the Russian archives during the Cold War thaw in the days of the Russian leader Yeltsin, Boris Yeltsin. Another source, a very valuable source, a very incriminating source of Russian thinking and Russian strategy of manipulation, is from the Venona decrypts. I'm familiar with this stuff. I have read, in addition to that, several of Churchill's books, giving a detailed, almost day-by-day account of what transpired, at the same time revealing his thoughts on what is happening. allowing the reader to some degree to get inside the mind of Churchill, which informed me that Churchill was not duped by Stalin. He knew exactly who Stalin was, but was forced out of necessity to solicit Stalin's cooperation in the war against Nazi Germany. Great Britain was desperate. They were already under attack. They were being bombed from the sky, and the Germans were massed across the channel preparing an invasion. Whereas the United States had more time. They were not under imminent threat. The United States can be more casual in their partnership with Britain and Russia. But Churchill was not duped. The Americans, on the other hand, were definitely duped. As though Americans somehow have a persistent habit of being shallow-minded, gullible, indifferent, incapable of deep thought or analysis, superficial. The way Americans are today is the way they were then. Not really concerned.